What a great guy. You talk about somebody that communicates well with his players. And Ben Fletcher was a longtime friend of Amir and came to South Florida, and he stepped into a very difficult situation, but is doing a fine job.
Agreed. We're underway here today from Birmingham. USF with the ball first. They're in green, UAB in gray. And right off the bat on the drive to the hole is Kobe Knox.
I tell you, South Florida's made a change. They put Knox in the start. Knox, who's healthy again. They've got Walker, Jennings in the game again. Veteran guys, Mike, that have used to winning, played part of that Cinderella story last year, and they're trying to get back to that.
Now here's Stroud for USF. Shovels it out to C.J. Brown for the Bulls. They go inside for Reynolds. Good up fake, and he puts it in over Lindenborg.
I tell you what, he knows how to use his body. He's a veteran guy. He's been around. He's a tough out in that low post area. UAB will run a lot of horns action. They'll run a lot of staggers and try to roll the post and attack the basket and wind up setting up also a lot of three-point shots.
Here's Coleman. And the first basket scored today for UAB.
That young man has really stepped up. I used to always say you need a guy in your lineup that you don't run a set play for, and he can help you. Coleman is that. They run absolutely nothing for him, and he gets his just through the flow of the game.
There's your starting five for USF as they have it with a 4-2 lead and going down, and now we're going to get a jump ball here as it was C.J. Brown and it was Jabari McGee that got on the deck to tie it up. And it's going to be UAB possession.
McGee was the point guard brought in to kind of be the catalyst and to kind of set everything up. Andy Kennedy has always had a guard that could just flat out score and get points. And he was hoping that McGee was going to be that guy.
Blazers with Lindenborg trying to work on Brandon Stroud. Up and under, got it. Look at that.
The thing Lindenborg does so well is he moves at a pace that he can be successful.
Look out, Stroud. A tough drive to the hole for USF, Coach.
Let me tell you, this USF team did a lot of magic last year. They had a lot of success and they played with a lot of confidence. Part of their problem this year, they felt like, in talking to the coach, that they're not playing with that same kind of confidence. So that's why he's gone back to this veteran lineup a little bit more.
That's Tony on the drive for UAB. A lot of confidence there on that take to the hole. 2.5 minutes in, we're tied at 6.
If you like up and down, these two teams both really like to get up and down.
Well, you got UAB averaging over 83 points a game this season. 76 points a game for USF. We'll see if we get a game like that here today. Nice feed. Jennings inside, no look as Reynolds missed it. Fights to get it back, has it, and he's fouled by Christian Coleman.
This is what Lindenborg does very well. He takes his time, he puts you in that grinder, and he's able to get angles and score over top of you. Tony attacks the basket. You're going to see both guards on both teams really going at the rim.
Here's Reynolds at the line.
Mike, if you like wrestling, you'll love watching Reynolds play because he plays angles, he puts that body on you. He's not afraid of the contact.
Fourth school in his career, Temple, UCF, Cincinnati, now here at USF. This first season, early shooting here. Both teams 3 for 4 from the field. 1 of 2, 7-6. Bulls with the early lead. Here's Vasquez. Going baseline. That runner's good as well. And hitting the deck is Stroud, and he's still down. He got hit hard there for USF.
Vasquez, I really like him. Last year, he did a lot of wonderful things for UAB. go into the tournament. He's offensively, he knows how to come off of those dribble handoffs. There you see him attacking the basket. Looked like he used the offhand to kind of clear out and caught him in the nose a little bit.
Yes.
And then stepped on him.
Well, you feel like it's going to be a physical game here today with what we're witnessing already in the first 3.5 minutes.
Well, without question, because both of these teams like to take the ball to the rim. And so in neither of the perimeter guards are afraid of the contact. UAB changes their defense. They go to 1-3-1 now. Andy Kennedy will change defenses a lot after timeouts and foul shots.
Quincy Anamakoya is in now for USF 23. Stroud being looked at on the bench now. Here's Reynolds and a hook, no good, but a foul is called. It's on Lendeborg.
Well, he did a good job that time of keeping Reynolds, not letting Reynolds get into the paint. And that's a little bit out of his range, but he wound up coming down with a foul on that. See how he's bodying him up. He's got him out. He just should have put his hand straight up. He doesn't need to waste a foul on that shot.
Lendeborg's did a pretty good job of that this season, though, just staying out of foul trouble. I mean, it's his 58th foul of the campaign in game number 25. So an average of just over 2. He's fouled out of 2 games this season, and Coach Kennedy has consistently played 8 players this season, game in and game out.
Well, you know, Yaxel is a veteran guy. I mean, and he got a lot of accolades after last year. Coach Kennedy spent a lot of time with him, so he really understands his role.
McGee with a feed to Vasquez, coming in for 2.
One of the things in UAB's offense, when a guy gets the basketball, other people are moving.
Speed inside Reynolds as he got it from Kobe Knox.
And what you're seeing right now with South Florida is a level of intelligence of how to play the game. They're trying to get the ball into Reynolds. You see that each and every time down the floor. If that's taken away, they're looking to dribble drive.
Great early start. He's got 7 points and 2 of 3 from the field, 3 of 4 at the foul line. 1 point Bulls advantage. Coleman bounces it for Lendeborg. Reynolds on him. 1-on-1. Count it.
He's just so tough, one-on-one. Why? Because he can put his skill set. He can put the ball on the floor. He can shoot over top of people. But UAB's got to get an answer to Reynolds. Right now, he's just too big, too strong. But give South Florida credit. They came in with a game plan of what they were trying to do and what they were trying to attack. And, Mike, so far they've done that.
Yeah, we just saw the same thing 2 times in a row. Knox to Reynolds for the easy 2. Now it's underneath of Vasquez. And his hook goes up and in. And outstanding shooting percentages by both teams to start, as USF is 5 of 6 from the field and UAB is now 7 of 8.
Yeah. If I'm South Florida, I'm a little concerned, as well as we're playing offensively, as well as we're executing, all right, we should have a lead and we don't.
Correct.
So defensively, we've got to get better. That's not his shot.
They forced him into a fadeaway mid-range, and now it's Lendeborg who kicks it to the corner. It's Tony for 3. It's no good. And rebound by Stroud, who's back in after taking that shot to the face. Stroud going coast to coast and kicks it to the corner. And Knox is fouled, and that's going to be on Lendeborg.
Yeah. We talk about scoring the basketball, and what we want to do is score the ball. There you see Lendeborg right there with a great finish. Vasquez comes right back. Another finish. UAB is scoring in the paint.
End of season savings just landed at Wayfair. President's Day clearance is here. And with deals this big, you'll be like,
am I a big deal?
Yes, you are. Which is why you deserve our best deal since Black Friday, with fast shipping straight to your door. This sale ends February 18th. So shop Wayfair's President's Day clearance today and wrap up winter with up to 70% off everything home.
Wayfair, every style, every home.
Bye, honey.
Morning breath, huh?
Dr. Garcia?
Oof.
Oh.
Reality checkup.
morning breath can be a sign of underlying health issues.
Crest Pro Health mouthwash protects your mouth overnight, every night, by killing millions of bacteria and preventing oral health issues like plaque and bad breath before they start.
Without the burn.
I'm so much pressure!
Crest.
Welcome back inside Bartow Arena on this Sunday afternoon in the American. Mike Corey with Perry Clark, 14-13 UAB over South Florida at the time being. How about the returners that they've had from last year and how that's helped this team?
Oh, without question. But here's the thing. Amir Abdul-Rahim went to Kennesaw State, caught the whole basketball world, put it on fire, then went to South Florida and came up with a magical season. Everybody's there. He got everybody believing in his dream and what he could do. I remember when I went to Tulane, it kind of was the same kind of effect, but then all of a sudden, Mike, he's gone. And these players are now looking around to try to figure it out. Coach Fletcher's trying to look to figure it out. And it has, at times this year, had an effect on them at different moments, and that's why they play so many close games. They've lost some games just because Coach Fletcher's talked about the mental focus, and I think that they've done an unbelievable job. Everybody believed in the South Florida program.
For sure.
And they thought it was about to take off and be one of the dominant programs in this league, and you can't minimize the effect that it's had on these guys in this season. And, you know, they've just stepped up and they still hung tight and they still have a chance to have a really good inning.
I agree with you, Coach. I mean, that's the thing. I mean, that's just something so difficult, right? And then you never know how it affects you game in and game out. I know they don't want to say that might be the case, but it's the truth. It's the reality of the situation.
And on these players, I mean, they walked around all spring, all last summer, saying, boy, we're there. We're going to be able to play with the big guys. We're going to be, you know, nationally ranked. We're going to do this and do that. And, you know, all of a sudden, it kind of dissipates with the loss of coach, and it has an effect. And when I talk to people around the program, and it really has been something they've been trying to work with the players through, and it's good to see them bouncing back.
Coach Fletcher had been with Coach Amir Abdul-Rahim since their start at Kennesaw State. Now the second year at USF, and they are battling, that's for sure. UAB now with a 1-point lead, 16-15, just under 14 minutes to go here in the first half. The foul was on Brown, by the way, for USF. Here's Stroud. Working it in. Oh, nice shot there for Brandon Stroud, excuse me.
I mean, this South Florida team has talent. I mean, I did about 2 or 3 games last year, and, you know, I met Amir's dad. I knew Amir's dad and Sharif's dad very well. He was so proud of both of them. And he always said Amir was more like him than Sharif as far as the toughness and the competitiveness. So,
Jabari McGee knocking down the jumper for UAB. They lead it by 2. Reed over to Brown. Oh, nice little up fakes. He takes it in through a double team. Missed the runner. That is tapped out of bounds, I believe, off a Lendenborg. And they're going to say it stays with USF. Yep.
You know, Coach Kennedy was saying in the first meeting they had a nice lead, but the 2 guards, Reed and Brown, really penetrated a great deal on them, and they had a hard time keeping them in front of them. And that's maybe why UAB is going to look to play more zone right now.
Ball inbounded here for Jaden Reed. Trying to go baseline. Nice move. Out to the wing, and it's taken away. Stolen away by Vasquez.
Yeah, but that was Brown's fault. When Reed penetrated, he should have stepped to an open gap, and that made that pass so hard.
Tyron Moore. Now to Butta Johnson. Now it's a 3-ball. It's on the way. It's good by Vasquez.
UAB and Andy Kennedy does a great job of dribble handoff, 3-man weave to free shooters for shots. The problem is that UAB guards have not shot with the proficiency they did last year.
How about Reynolds inside here for USF? He's got 11 points, Coach, on 4 of 6 from the field.
Keep feeding him.
Lendenborg on the take for 2.
But you can't let a guy catch the ball at the top of the key and get all the way to the rim and not have somebody stop the basketball.
Lindenborg's got 6 points here for UAB. They lead it by 5, largest so far the first half. And a block from behind by Azawiro for UAB, and we've got a timeout.
We talk about scoring the basketball. Drive right there, layup by Lindenborg. He's able to attack the basket. What a finish.
TurboTax Free Edition. 37% of filers qualify. Simple Form 1040 returns only. See if you qualify at turbotax.com/free. I can file for free.
Now this is taxes. File for free with TurboTax Free Edition.
Bye, honey.
Morning breath, huh?
Dr. Garcia?
Oof.
Reality checkup.
Morning breath can be a sign of underlying health issues.
Crest Pro Health mouthwash protects your mouth overnight, every night, by killing millions of bacteria and preventing oral health issues like plaque and bad breath before they start.
Without the burn.
I'm so much fresher!
Crest.
Four Nations Face Off on ESPN and ABC.
Women's college hoops, all season long on the networks of ESPN.
Big Monday coming your way tomorrow night. Duke and Virginia starts at 8 o'clock, and then Arizona and Baylor at 10 o'clock on ESPN. Of course, Cooper Flagg now leading his team in 5 categories, including points, rebounds, assists, blocks, and steals. Well, Yaxel Lindenborg does that as well for UAB, and he's also got a chance to lead his team in 6 categories, including field goal percentage as well. He would be only the 9th player in the last 25 years to lead his team in 6 categories like that, and he is just having a special season. It would be the first since 2021. I mean, that's some pretty darn good company. It's him, Flagg, and then Broom from Auburn, who leads his team in 4 categories.
You know, we talk so much about Lindenborg because he is such an unselfish basketball player, and he really tries to involve a lot of his other teammates. And Andy's talking about him trying to be more aggressive and doing more things, and Andy just says he refuses to do it. I mean, he wants to share the basketball. He gets as much joy out of passing to his teammates as he does scoring.
Now he comes up with a loose ball after Reynolds, by the way, on the other end with his 13th point for USF. He's been aggressive today. As a wheel underneath, and he is fouled, and they're going to get it on Reynolds. That'll be his first.
The one thing about this game, there's been 28 points shot in the paint, and there's only been 3 shots that have been, 2 shots that have been 3-pointers. And that's very unusual. But the fact of the matter is both teams are taking the ball hard to the basket, getting the ball into the post area, and it's giving this game some flow.
Yeah, USF has not taken a 3-point attempt so far. 2 for 3 is UAB right now. 10 of 13 from the field, 8 of 13 from the field for South Florida as Awiro hits the free throw. And we're coming up on 11 minutes to go in the first half, and it's a 5-point Blazers lead.
Offensively, South Florida is playing very well and executing very well. Defensively, they've got to get a little better. They've got to get more of a rim protector and play the gaps and stop the drives.
Williams runner didn't go, and Vasquez back the other way to the corner and faking on the 3. Tyron Moore relocates, puts it up and in. UAB is now 3 of 4 from 3-point
South
range.
Florida's got to take a timeout. They can't continue to let the penetration and the kicks, because if they wind up driving and knocking down 3s, UAB is going to have a good day.
Introducing Domino's Best Deal Ever. Get any pizza with any toppings for just $9.99 online. Your favorite pizza at our best price. Any pizza with any toppings for $9.99. It's Domino's Best Deal Ever. But it's not forever, so get it before it's gone. Only at Domino's.
Women's college hoops, all season long on the networks of ESPN.
This is an ESPN Sonic blockbuster. Whoa! This is star power
from the jump. The best of college basketball every Saturday on ESPN.
I look different. I play different.
We were the greatest defense ever to play the game.
Winning becomes a lifestyle.
Pickleball Slam 3, live only on ESPN.
It's really a big Monday triple header because it all gets started at 6 o'clock on the women's side with Duke and Notre Dame. That's tomorrow at 6 p.m. Eastern. And how about Hannah Hidalgo leading Notre Dame, averaging 25.2 points a game, number 2 in the nation, 4.09 steals per game as well, also number 2 in the country. And that's going to get us started tomorrow for Big Monday with Duke and Notre Dame on the women's side. Welcome back here with the UAB leading by 8 points now at 29-21. And they've hit 3 3-pointers, Coach, so they're doing it in a variety of ways, to your point, as we went to break there. The defense has got to get picked up a little bit for USF. They have no problem with the offense, though, right now. As Reynolds, again, getting the feed from the top by Jaden Reed.
I tell you, very much impressed with offensively the way South Florida is playing, but it's awful hard to come into UAB and beat the Andy Kennedy team by trying to outscore them. You got to come up with a defensive stop. Watch this action right here. Ball screen for the post guy, roll him, finish with a dunk. That's an excellent execution, half-court offense.
Reynolds, very athletic, Coach. I mean, he could play outside, inside. You saw him roll into the basket like that. That was a great play right there from USF.
So much of what has happened to South Florida this year, I think, has been as much emotional and mental and not 100% talent, because they have abilities.
2 of the 3 shots that Reynolds has missed have come from like that, which is not his game.
I wouldn't let him shoot that. I said, big fella, go back to the paint. I'll get you the ball. We're looking for you. We'll finish it up there.
Correct. Don't need it. That was a mid-range, and he missed both of them so far today. Here's Lendeborg. Good job by Stroud. Oldest Brown. Now it's a 3 in the corner. No good that time by Moore. And it's Bulls possession with 9:25 to go first half. They trail by 6.
Yeah. Right now, UAB has shooters on the floor. Butter Johnson is a really big-time shooter. Vasquez is a really big-time scorer. And so they've got guys that can really score the basketball.
3 ball up and in by Reed, who you featured at the start of the broadcast.
I think he's really special. I mean, he knows how to play. He has a really good basketball IQ.
That's the first 3-pointer on the first attempt, and driving in is Vasquez. Almost had the 3-point play opportunity. That gets 2 at the line coming up. Back to the 3 here by Reed.
Well, when your post guy is playing so well, it makes the ball screens more effective. You see, the guy, his defender slipped and he was able to bury it. That was Johnson. But if you push up on him, Reed, he'll blow by you. And again, Andy Kennedy talked about in the first game, in the second half, although they had control, they never controlled Reed from getting in the paint.
Stroud called for the foul. Vasquez with 1 more, lead back up to 4. Substitution. Reynolds goes out for the time being for USF, and Adam Okoye is back in. 10 points already for Vasquez here. Perfect from the field. 4 for 4, including a 3-pointer, and 1 for 1 at the foul line so far.
He's just been a steady performer for AK. I mean, whether or not it's defending, whether or not it's scoring, he doesn't hunt his 3, which makes him very effective. 1-3-1 right now for Birmingham.
5-point lead.
They normally get out of it if the ball gets to the wing or the corner. They go back man.
Reed slashes through, takes some contact, kicks it out. Adam Okoye now at the top for 3. It's good. And 2 for 2 now are the Bulls from 3-point range.
Adam Okoye is really, again, another good shooter. Their spacing has been very effective today because of the play of the post player with Reynolds.
Now can they clamp down on the defensive end? Back to Vasquez, a wide open 3. That is no good. It caught a break. The Bulls dead. Rebound by Williams. Outletting here for Reed. Can tie it or take the lead with a 3. Reed goes right to the middle of the lane. Puts it up. No. And that's Aguero the rebound. McGee. Yes.
Andy Kennedy went and got this young man and wanted him to be able to step up and be the leader of his ball club, and he kind of put the ball in his hands, and he's had his moments. He's had his moments where he stepped up and did real well. He had his moments where he turned it over or didn't guard the ball and struggled, but he believes that he's going to be really a talented player.
Steal from McGee, and he tried to go up top to Lindenborg, and he got fouled, and he'll shoot free throws when we return. The Blazers lead by 4 early on here at home. We'll be back. Coach, you know him very well, and his son as well.
Well, I tell you what, Gene Bartow, one of the first things he did was he helped bring Larry Finch to Memphis because he convinced Larry Finch that racially him staying home and going to Memphis would have such an impact in that community, which it did. Then coming over here after having such success that he had and starting a basketball program at UAB. They had a hospital. They were trying to raise this university to be able to be on the same plane of Alabama and Auburn and to have an impact in this community. Gene Bartow did that. His son Murray has continued it from coaching here, raising money, and he's just been, wherever he's been a beacon of light and hope for the communities that he's been a part of, and they recognize him here, and that's a wonderful thing with the statue. He was a very, very special man.
Well said, Coach. And today's the Gene Bartow Classic, which is a day where fans contribute money to the Gene Bartow Fund for Cancer Research.
Yeah, again, this hospital here, UAB Hospital, is a very special hospital and has done so much in this community and in this state. And the success of this program and his work in the community has added so much to it. When Murray came over, I had to remind him he beat me in a tournament game that knocked me out of the NCAA tournament when I was at Tulane. And he started laughing. He said, "Don't hold that against me." What a great coach he was. His dad has done so much for so many people. And this has been a very special program and really the heartbeat of Birmingham and the community and its standing.
Coach Kennedy trying to keep it going here. And if they win today, they're a game and a half out of first place Memphis, who just lost today to Wichita. Big win by the Shockers at home in overtime. Reynolds now working on the block. That's been his game today. Doesn't go, out of bounds, over to UAB.
They're doing a much better job, UAB, as far as kicking him out of the paint area, so he's not able to post quite as low as he was earlier. Aguero is playing him now, and he's being really a lot more physical than Lindenberg was on him earlier.
Vasquez inside. Aguero over Reynolds. No. Good job by Reynolds not to get a second personal foul. Knocked out of bounds. Stays with UAB. So here's a look at the American standings right now for you. As we said, Memphis with a loss today, 11-2. North Texas, UAB. We talked about it at the beginning of conference play that North Texas and UAB would be the challengers, right? We know how good Memphis is going to be right now, but that loss will knock them down a peg. But still a very viable tournament team there. But how about North Texas and UAB right now, the way they're playing?
Oh, right now they're really excited, and their kids have got to be really excited because they have a chance. And let me tell you this, not that they didn't think that they would have a chance. I mean, but things are playing out the way that they hoped that they would to put them in a position to go into the tournament with a legit NCAA bid with an opportunity.
Vasquez offensive rebound, no good. Another offensive board as Aguero, and they're calling the foul here. Let's see what they got. Did they get a flagrant? We're going to go take a look at it here. Player is down for USF. Immediately, Keith Kimball said, "I got something here," so let's go back and take a look at this, and let's hope.
The aggressiveness underneath, guys are just swatting and...
Yeah, let's hope Reynolds is okay. He got hit, and he's
with an elbow. I mean, but every time somebody's going to the basket, there's arms flailing. See right there? Yes. Yeah, he came down with an elbow.
Yep. Now that's exactly right. It was Aguero there at 22 who just clocked Reynolds in the head. And it was called a flagrant on the floor, I believe, from Keith Kimball, our referee. And this is an outstanding crew today with Keith Kimball, Vladimir Voyar-Tadal, and Don Daly. So they're going to take a look at it. You saw it immediately.
Yeah.
Remember, flagrant 1, unnecessary and or excessive. And you don't have to hear, oh, he didn't mean to do. Intent has nothing to do with it.
It has
you clock
nothing.
someone in the head, it's a flagrant 1. And that's why he called it. And I believe that's what's going to be the case.
But one of the things as a coach, you teach your players, especially the bigs, keep your hands up. Keep your hands up, protect your face so you can go get the basketball. Don't put your hands at your side because nothing's good is going to happen to you. And so it looks like that time Reynolds got caught with his hands by his waist and down, and that's why he got hit in the head. Now, again, a flagrant's a flagrant, but let's look at this.
Yeah, well, so Weiro just coming down.
Yeah, just coming down.
Just clocking him right there, and that's like, again. And they're going to come over and talk to us about it. I just got the word from the officials as they discuss it.
But all big guys, they go for those, need their hands up. You teach them that in drills, work. You do that in rebounding drills and everything. Keep your hands up, protect your face, but you also need to do that to go get the basketball.
Yeah, and I understand where it says here too, you know, not a legitimate play on the ball, right? Exactly. And even sometimes you are going for the ball, right? Sometimes you go try to block a shot, right? You come down, you clock the guy in the head again. It doesn't matter. Say, well, I was going for the ball. It doesn't matter. You hit him in the head. You got to protect the player. So that's what the definition of the flagrant 1 is. And
anything above the neck area is going to be reviewed.
Right.
With the concussion protocol that forces kids to have to sit and be out, you have to, besides their own mental health, I mean, is really being protected as it should be.
Yeah, Reynolds looks to be okay, which is good because he's having an incredible game.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's what it was. So Vladimir Voyar-Tadal came over and confirmed it with us. Flagrant 1 called against UAB, and Ezewiro there, who just came down and clocked Reynolds. Oh, geez, I thought the other way. Oh, wait, so they're going to call it on Anamakoya here for UAB. Excuse me. Ezewiro to the free throw line. We go back and look at that again if we could for a second. Okay, there we go. Yes, it's even before that. It was the previous there, 23. Quincy Anamakoya knocking down the player for UAB. I thought I saw the clock on Reynolds.
Well, Reynolds did get it after all that had happened.
Okay. So pardon me, flagrant on Quincy Anamakoya, 23 there for USF. And as Weiro, the free throws has now made it 36-29. McGee. Lindeborg driving, no, rebound Reynolds.
Lindeborg loves to work out of that horns action where he gets the ball on the elbow. He's got an isolation right there. He can drive and pull up, take a short jump shot. I don't like the fact now they're trying to let Reynolds back down. He was more effective catching the ball in the post and scoring, especially with Lindeborg having the 2 fouls.
McGee down the lane. Stays with it and scores for UAB.
South Florida is not giving enough resistance at the rim. If they don't pick that up, no matter what they do offensively, it's going to be a long afternoon for them. They have to defensively protect the rim a little bit stronger and better than what they're doing.
Jennings on a spin for USF, doesn't go. Rebound, Ezewiro outletting quickly for McGee. And that's going to be a carry, double dribble.
One thing about an Andy Kennedy team, if they see you bleeding, they're going to go after that same spot over and over and over. So they're not going to stop attacking the basket until South Florida shows that they can stop the penetration. AK's telling him, we're going to keep coming now. Keep calling the foul.
Right.
We're going to keep coming.
Knox lost the handle. So going for Brown.
See, Mike, but this is what happens between really good teams and teams that struggle. They forget what worked for them.
Got you to this point, right? It's a good point. Yeah, driving in is Adam Okoye, and he got hit. And he'll get a couple free throws here for South Florida.
You know, back when I coached against good players, I tried to do things to distract them. There you see Adam Okoye driving the basketball, but whether or not you went zone, whether or not you mixed your defenses, whether or not you go boxing one, you change things up, you try to take a team out of what it is that they're trying to do that is working against you. And right now, UAB has gone zone, mixed it up, and it's really throwing South Florida off.
Azuero got caught for the foul, and here is Adam Okoye. One more to try to cut it to an 8-point game with 4:21 to go first half. I mean, Coach Kennedy's team, right? They've won 10 of the last 13, right? Their losses on a game-winning shot at the buzzer on New Year's Eve at North Texas.
Didn't you do that game?
I did that game.
He looked at you kind of funny before the game. I'm telling you.
I was just trying to go over the situation. They lost to Memphis by 23, then they come off a 7-point loss to ECU.
And he said at the ECU game, they just couldn't defensively make stops. ECU had really good offensive players, and they just couldn't contain them.
Reed for 3 for USF. They've got 3 for 3 now from 3-point range, and it's all Reed and also Adam Okoye.
Yeah, and again, but they have to come down and settle in and be able to make some stops defensively.
Lend the board. They've got Brown on him for the time being. Up to the top, wide open for 3. It's up, it's good by McGee. What do you do there, Coach?
It looked like they were about to double Lindenberg, and they decided not to. And the guy on top was wide open.
Step back 3 from Knox doesn't go, and Lindenberg into the front court, goes to the corner. Vasquez spinning baseline, blocked from behind, and Adam Okoye there that time, along with Reynolds, and here he goes leading the break. To Reed, good look for 3 in the wing. It's good.
Now that's what they can do. That's where South Florida is at their best running. And Coach Kennedy's not happy with the shot selection UAB's doing offensively, which is allowing South Florida to get out and push the basketball.
9 points here now for Reed, all on 3-pointers for USF. They trail by only 5. As Lindenberg gets shut off, feeds the cutter Vasquez, and he misses as Aguero is there for the rebound.
Brown missed the block out there on the weak side.
And backdoor block, Lindenberg as Adam Okoye.
Is that the guy? I told you he's versatile. He can come up with plays offensively or defensively for you.
Now McGee to the hole for 2. Coach Fletcher says, kind of settle down here, guys. And all of a sudden, they make a little bit of a comeback. And now it's the largest lead of the first half for UAB.
Well, they defensively, I'm just telling you, if they don't figure out at halftime how to shut down the driving lanes and protect the rim protect, because this UAB team is going to keep coming and keep coming.
Reed kind of settled for that one there, and now UAB in no hurry here with a 9-point lead. Under 2 minutes to go in the first half. McGee knocked out of his hands, out of bounds. Stays with UAB when we return.
I tell you, we talk about the defense, and we really need the defense to be able to step up. There you see the drive, shutting down the lane. Reynolds comes up with the loose ball. But this is the big one where Yaxel comes across and shuts down the rim. That's why he's so versatile.
Thanks very much. Welcome back here to Birmingham. It is a 45-36 lead. I'm sorry, Coach. I want to go back to this crazy play. I just talked to the officials about the flagrant that we had a few minutes ago. I mean, this is McGee, right? Adam Okoye is there on defense. Nothing there, okay? Then I know there was a big hit right there to Reynolds off of Azuero, but you got to continue the play. 23 comes back. Adam Okoye right there,
Yeah,
23 on Ezewiro. That's what they're calling the flagrant one on. Okay,
We thought it was on Reynolds
Yeah,
on the initial whack.
I thought there was the first one on, on Ezewiro coming down on Reynolds. Instead, they get 23 Anamakoya on Ezewiro right there, and that was the flagrant.
It was a lot of action.
There was a lot of action.
They had a smorgasbord of what they could have called. There was a lot of action.
I thought. But anyhow, to clean that up for you, and it's a physical game here today, to say the least, right? Reynolds with 15 points in the first 10 minutes of this game, by the way, for USF, and he has none in the last 8.5, as they've been doing a much better job on him, and now we got a foul here.
Well, I just think they've been distracted. I think Reed knocked down some jump shots and some threes, and they've gone away from Reynolds, and I think that especially with Lindenberg having 2 fouls, I would really go at him. I mean, and he's played a lot of time.
They got him for just the one.
Okay,
actually, yeah.
I thought he had 2.
Ezewiro now with 2. Coleman's also got 2 for UAB. Brown blocked by Ezewiro, who's had a really good first half here. 5 points, 5 rebounds, 3 of 4 at the foul line. Just got the block right there. Here's Brown. Step back 3, got that screen, freed himself up, doesn't go. Ezewiro, the 6th rebound of the game for him. One minute left. UAB is working on their largest lead of this first half. Lindenberg, he's got Stroud on him. Reynolds comes over with the double team. They reverse the ball. It's Tony for 3. In and out.
See, I think that's what they were trying to do early when they gave up an easy jump shot, trying to double Yak when he got the ball. Jackson when he got the ball.
Feed from Stroud. They tried to get it to Brown, who missed the dunk. And then after that, there was a foul called, and it's going to be on UAB.
This is what South Florida does so well. They really do a great job of pushing the basketball. Every coach in the league fears their transition game because their guards are so fast.
Butta Johnson was called for the foul for the Blazers. Now Reynolds working it in here on Ezewiro, and he's fouled.
Again, if South Florida can figure out a way to take away the drives of UAB at the half, they have a chance to get back in this basketball game and win this basketball game, because UAB has shown no answer to Reynolds in the low post.
Ezewiro just picked up his 3rd personal foul for the Blazers here as Reynolds is at the line. And he'll have another. Tomorrow we've got 3 TGL matches, and that is the Golf League, co-founded by Tiger Woods and Rory McIlroy, and it's Atlanta, LA, and you've got Atlanta in the Bay, and the Bay at Boston Common. That's all coming your way on Monday. And it's now 45-37 here, Coach. 20 seconds left. Blazers ball.
They'll hold for the last one. They'll do some sort of dribble handoff to a drive, to a roll. Lindenberg has the ball, so look for him maybe to do a dribble handoff.
Lindenberg for the shoot. Up and under. No.
Oh, yeah!
Count it, and UAB leads it by.
I don't think I think they have to get more physical and stay in front of the ball and then change defenses if they're not. They're going to have to show some zone looks and do some things to distract UAB from just attacking the rim.
So it's Bulls possession here, and right off the bat they get it into Reynolds, and he's fouled from behind by Vasquez. Chance for the 3-point play.
You know what we were talking earlier about with Strauss and Knox playing. You see they come off the dribble, hand off, and they get right back. That's smart basketball play. These guys had played Jennings. They played in big games last year, so they have the mentality to understand what they're looking for. And I think that's why Coach put this lineup together today and trying to attack and get the ball to Reynolds.
Reynolds has a game-high 19 points right now, and on cue, right after that first half little highlight package on him, and he goes right to work to begin the second half. And a steal. Brown against McGee. Missed it. And Vasquez on the spin gets the 2. That's a 4-point sequence there.
Yeah, and Vasquez just went right to the rim. He had no respect for any rim protectors or anything like that, and that's where the game's going to be won or lost. South Florida has to play better defense.
Vasquez gets a has 13 points down, a block inside, that time in the runner by Stroud. Here's Lendebourg. 10 first half points for him, along with 7 rebounds. Kicks it out. Vasquez for 3. Reynolds also has 7 rebounds today to go along with his 19 points for USF.
They run action, South Florida does, to try to get cutters to be able to free the post and also have driving lanes.
Brown goes down, and there's going to be a foul here.
He went down hard. It looked like he slipped.
I thought so too,
It looked like he more slipped.
Tony was called for the foul, number 6 for UAB.
It is amazing how players immediately start doing that little circle whirl. It looks like he slipped.
Brown trying to shake it off here. He's going to put it in play. Oh, nice cut to the hole, and the basket is scored by Kobe Knox.
Yeah, again, Knox is a really smart basketball player.
Nice cut to the wide open space there.
Yeah, these guys have won a lot of basketball games, and so they know how to play. I think South Florida guard, if they're going to stay man, they got to have softer pressure. They can't get up and pressure the ball the way they're pressuring it because they're just getting beat. That's a good cut by Knox right there. They were supposed to switch at UAB, and they just didn't.
It's a good feed by Brown, and C.J. Brown was the one that was just called for the foul on the defensive end as McGee to the line. And he leads UAB in scoring today with 15 points now. Averages 9.4 a game. And he's just coming off a real tough game in the last one. He played just 14 minutes. Had 2 assists and a steal. Did not score, Jabari McGee. So they get a concerted effort to get him involved here early today, and it's working. It was off that ECU loss, 82-75 on the road this past week.
Well, AK felt he needed more out of McGee, and he talked to him about that. And the one thing about Andy Kennedy, he lets his guys play, and he instills more confidence in them than telling them what they can't do.
Reynolds trying to feed it to the cutting Jennings, and it's out of bounds to UAB.
See, Mike, the difference in that play and the way they've been playing with Reynolds. Reynolds normally cuts to the ball, catches it in the paint. That time he was in the short corner and had to dribble to the paint, and that makes him less effective.
That's a great point. At times where he has been less effective, that's the only times really today is he's caught it out on the wing.
Yeah.
And he's been away from the post. And he shot a couple of mid-range shots that didn't go down either. Now we got a foul. That's going to be on Stroud, his 3rd for South Florida.
Lendebourg can really put the ball on the floor. That's surprising. People that may not have had a chance to see him. But he does have a handle, and his skill set is such he can put it on the floor and shoot it and pass it.
There's Wiro for Vasquez. 7 to shoot. Crosses back over.
He's so aggressive. Vasquez is going to the glass. I mean, you almost need to put a power forward on him, right? Because he's gonna wind up in the paint area.
Stroud with his 4th personal. Ben Fletcher really upset for USF on the sideline there, as he's got to come out now.
Okay, now this is what I'm gonna tell you as a coach. All right, you got to be able to read the front numbers on a guy's jersey, and then you know you're in proper guarding position. If you're reading his hips or the number on the back of his jersey, you're not guarding.
You're not in a good spot. Yeah, that's a good point. McGee off the screen from Ezewiro. Now it's going to be in the hands of Vasquez. Pulls up just in front of three-point land. It's no good. Offensive rebound. Lendeborg. Tony for 3. And finally, Adam Okoye comes down with it, but then he lost it. It's up by half court, and somehow C.J. Brown gets it up, and it's a throwdown dunk by Reynolds on the feed from Jennings.
I tell you, when the ball is loose, I don't know why guys try to dribble out of a crowd. Pick it up, read the defense, and get it to the next guy.
Lendeborg. And that's going to be a travel. Yeah, he's going to walk his way in.
He pulled the chair. He thought it was going to be contact, and it wasn't. Basic loose ball. Just kind of pick it up. Great finish, though.
Here's Jennings. To the hole. Jennings got it.
Mike, I'm telling you, these guys are talented South Florida perimeter guys. They can make plays. They can make shots. When I talk to coaches in the league, they are very much concerned whenever they play them that it's going to be a night where it all kind of comes together for them.
Well, and that was Jennings' first basket of the afternoon. He's 1 for 2, and on that drive to the basket, USF has cut it to 4.
Yeah, but what he does real well, watch him keep his head up. He picks up the rim, follows through, and finishes with a deuce.
In every generation, there are those who question the status quo. Questions like, why can't chicken be slow roasted? Why can't I have shredded purple cabbage? Why can't my quesadilla have cheese inside and out? And where's my avocado verde salsa? The new era of chicken is here to stay. The Cantina Chicken Menu. Only at Taco Bell.
Oh, wow, we can spot your dehydration from a mile away.
Welcome to our world of extraordinary hydration science.
We've been busy advancing the science of hydration.
We've selected the ingredient of allulose, a naturally derived sweetener that doesn't spike your blood sugar like glucose. If creating such an amazing sugar-free formula was easy, everyone would do it.
But they don't.
Because they can't.
Liquid IV, sugar-free hydration. 0 sugar, 0 artificial sweetener.
Yeah, there you go, breaking the losing streak.
I'm telling you. Hey, how about Rick Pitino? All the man does is know how to win. When I was a high school assistant, I wanted to get into college. I went and visited him. He was at BU at the time, and he told me that, look, we don't take lunches. You may have to sleep in your car on recruiting trips. He said, but we've got to build this thing, and he's always had. He's just a coach's coach. He just knows how to win. He knows how to motivate, and his energy level for success is so great. He's a heck of a coach.
I think we're in for a crazy tournament. I know, Auburn and Alabama, that game yesterday, and then, of course, the way Duke's playing. A lot of really good teams over the top. But, I mean, I feel like we're going to see some surprises, and it might not be as surprising as people expect, you know?
Well, I tell you what, there are some really outstanding coaches. The game yesterday, I mean, you talk about two really fine coaches. And Bruce Pearl, I think, is underrated in his motivation and how he gets his guys to play so hard and play so free. People see that and think that's easy to do. That is a knack because he has talented players. They're unselfish. They love each other, and they play their butts off for him. I mean, that's special, and he does a great job with that.
McGee had just scored on the previous offensive possession, and now Lendeborg scores, and it's back-to-back coming out of that timeout. Lendeborg's got 12.
But that's the part of his game that I don't think a lot of people see or recognize. He can put that thing on the he can put the ball on the floor. He got good ball skills. He can pass it and shoot it. He's not just a low post player.
Jennings doesn't go, and Lindenborg gets the rebound. He's got his 17th double-double of the season, and blocked and fouled by Anamakoya, and he's going to shoot free throws when we return. So Yaxel Lindenborg, 12 points, 10 rebounds, 17th double-double of the year, 36th of his career. Blazers on top by 8. Welcome back to Birmingham, 54-46. Mike Corey and Perry Clark with you here, Bartow Arena on this Sunday afternoon in the American. A win by UAB today, and they're a game and a half out of first place to Memphis, who just fell to Wichita State. How about the star watch in this game here today, right? Lindenborg just picked up his 17th double-double of the season, 36th of his career, and Reynolds with 3 20-point games now on the year.
I tell you what, Reynolds has just done an outstanding job catching the ball in the low post, being able to score. And Lindenborg has really shown his versatility, but it's been a fact of what we expected. Those two guys, everything is going to have to kind of go through them, and that's what's happened.
4th for the career of Reynolds with a 20-plus point game. And Reynolds is 2 rebounds away from a double-double as well. And what were you doing looking up in the banners here today at Bartow Arena? What did we see?
I tell you what, one of the broadcasters is Jerome Mincy, and his jersey is hanging. He was a great player. And there's 3 jerseys that's hanging up there right now. And one is Oliver Robinson, who was a really tough, good player. The other was Steve Mitchell, and the other was Jerome Mincy. And but I asked Jerome who the 5 best to play here. You know who else he added? Andy Kennedy and Lindenborg.
Wow.
I mean, so that just shows you how talented those 2 guys were. And AK was really a special player.
Reynolds, count the basket and the foul on the throwdown dunk. He's got 23.
If they can get this kind of play constantly out of the big fella going into the tournament, and Reynolds, I mean, this South Florida team is going to be right in the mix of some things. They have to do something defensively, though. Yeah. They've got to come up with a zone. They've got to show some more pressure. They just got to distract people or soft the ball pressure so guys aren't able to get angles and drive the basketball on them and get to the front of the rim.
Coleman has called the foul for UAB. That's his 3rd of the day. It's a 7-point game here now. 24 for Reynolds for the Bulls. Johnson, Anamakoya on him. Johnson to the hole. He got a block on him, but Johnson got it back. Kicks it out. Shot clock. Lindenborg gets the bounce for 3.
Yeah, we talked to Coach Kennedy before the game. He talked about trying to ask Axel to do more. That's because he sees every day in practice that young man's talent and ability, and he wants him to be able to show all his versatility.
And McCoy, and he's fouled by Lindenborg, and a chance for the 3-point play for him.
Mike, we've got a lot of basketball to play. Watch Lindenborg right here. Knocking down that jump shot, willing it in. And then the drive right there, good finish, good score inside. Quincy taking the ball to the basket.
He thought he went straight up. He kind of leaned in a little bit there. And now Anamakoya at the line converts a 3-point play. To your point about what Coach Kennedy was asking of Lindenborg, he wants the ball to go through him on possession after possession. And he said that sometimes the Lindenborg's not really up for that, if you will. Not to say he's not trying to follow the orders, but the fact that is he's such an unselfish player.
Yes.
Right, but he needs to realize, like Coach was saying, that the defense moves. It changes because of the attention that you bring just when you get the ball. Doesn't mean you got to go score every time.
Without question, because I will tell you this, you need your best player to play well because everybody else understands their roles when he is playing well. They understand where they're going to get their shots from. They understand offensively and defensively what they need to do to help win because he's the constant. So you need your best player to be that constant.
The foul was on Reed as Aguiro's at the free throw line. Big Monday comes your way tomorrow. Doubleheader on ESPN. Cooper Flagg, number 3 Duke. He leads the team points, rebounds, assists, steals, block shots. The freshman And then Arizona, and they rebound after yesterday's tough loss to number 6 Houston. They've got Baylor, and that's tomorrow, 8 and 10 p.m. on ESPN.
Well, that was a tough loss, but at this time of the year, I mean, all you have to you worry about the next one. You get on the bus, you worry about the next one. Houston did a tremendous job. Kelvin Sampson, what a coach. He just did a tremendous job in getting the best out of his team and running and executing plays down the stretch.
I feel like they got to run in them come March, right?
Without question. Without question.
Knox up top. It's Reed. Reynolds, but he's well out of the post, and that's off the hands of Ezewiro out of bounds.
Ezewiro has done a really good job not letting Reynolds sit in the paint area and forcing him off the block.
That's what you have to do. And when they haven't, he's been able to score. He's got 24 today. Reed, and he tried to dish it inside to him, and it got taken away. Lendeborg up quickly to Tony. Alley-oop, and in midair, it's McGee who puts it in. And it's now up to an 11-point lead, the largest of the day for UAB.
UAB is really tight in their defense.
Adam McCoy got a strip. Tony, McGee. He'll take it. And he's fouled.
You see right there, again in transition, the alley-oop right there for an easy basket. But the biggest thing has been defensively, the way UAB has been able to make stops and then get good transition. McGee's at the foul line right now. He's been a major part defensively.
Third foul on C.J. Brown and Jabari McGee. This is his second 20-plus point game this season, as he just drained that free throw for number 20. 7 of 8 at the from the field today. 4 of 5, and now 4 of 6 at the free throw line. 12-point Blazers advantage.
This is an important part of the game right now for South Florida. I mean, they've got to step up and they've got to make some shots.
Brown trying to do that, and he does.
Brown and Reed on their own have the quickness to get past the UAB guards and get into the paint.
UAB won this earlier matchup this year back on January 15th at South Florida, 92-83. Trying to sweep the season series and go to 9-3, which would tie North Texas. Game and a half back in Memphis. Rebound Ezewiro. Johnson, 3 ball. No.
See, but defensively, that's the way South Florida has to play. Packing the paint.
Oh, up top here. Brown gathers and scores it.
What a play. That was a tough play right there. He made a catch almost right under the rim and balanced himself and came back and finished. That was not an easy play.
Well, you called it, Coach, here the very most important time in this game where UAB was up by 12, largest lead, 2 buckets to cut it back into single digits at 8.
Yeah, I mean, that was the time. And defensively, they're trying to make the adjustment and keep the ball out of the paint. They're giving up jump shots right now to UAB.
And they get a steal. Nice job by Adam McCoy. They get it up to Reed. Reed's going to pop a 3. It's good.
Was that a shot? He's 1 on 4 and pulls up and knocks down the jump shot. Boy, is that a big-time shot there by Reed. You see the transition. Reed kicks ahead his partner Brown, and Brown balances himself and scores at the rim. Then all of a sudden they make a steal. They come down. He's in transition. You want to lay up? No, we don't need that, coach. I got the J working, baby.
What's happening in the American, okay? Memphis, 14th in the country, lost a tough one today in overtime on the road to Wichita State, 84-79. Lenardi's got him in as a 5 seed right now. We'll see how that changes things with that loss today. FAU beat Temple today as well, 83-81. But how about the other contenders as well? North Texas, they've won 12 of the last 15. You're watching UAB right now. They're the defending champions in the American as well. So there's a lot of basketball still to be played here. And you talk about these two teams and Memphis, it's going to be crazy down the finish.
Well, Memphis should want the challenge that they're getting. They knew that they were going into a tough run with a game against South Florida late and then an early start today, both on the road. But that'll do nothing but make them stronger and make them more prepared for the tournament and make them more prepared for the NCAA. Penny should thank God that it happened like that, because now he's got his team's attention. They're not breezing into things and taking things for granted. They get back to work, and Penny will do a really good job with that and use it as a motivator.
That's a good point, and it's not like it's hurting their at-large chances that much, right? I mean, they've built up so well. They're 5-2 in quad 1 games.
They beat Ole Miss. They beat Michigan State. I mean, they beat Clemson. I mean, come on. I mean, so he's okay. I mean, it's a matter of pride, but they want to win the tournament, you know, as every team does. And now the challenge that's going to come, and it's going to make them better. It's going to make them stronger. And sometimes the only time you learn some certain messages is when you fall on your face. Unfortunately for coaches, that's the way a lot of these players and young people are. But, you know, but this UAB team, I mean, they had some struggles earlier. And Coach Kennedy, I'm telling you, he's going to have them come tournament time. He's going to have them primed and playing their best basketball.
Well, and we didn't want to gloss over the last panel. There was Lendeborg, who's a potential player of the year candidate in the American with what he's doing. He's got 17 double-doubles now. This one today to make it 17 with 17 points and 10 rebounds. He's one of 13 players this season averaging a double-double. There are 12 other players in the nation with points and rebounds, and there's one other who averages a double-double with points and assists. Ryan Nemhard from Gonzaga.
You know,
and McCoy misses on the 3.
I just knew as a coach there's certain guys I did not want them to have the ball when the game was on the line or in the last 2 minutes. And those are the guys that I didn't care what the stats said. I knew the way they operated.
That's a travel that time on Moore before he drained the shot. It's a 6-point game here, Coach. USF has cut the lead in half. It was 12. That was the largest of the day.
And the biggest thing what South Florida's done is packed in their defense. They made UAB shoot jump shots instead of getting to the front of the rim, and that's been the biggest difference in the second half.
No field goals over the last 2 minutes and 40 seconds for UAB. South Florida's at 5 of the last 6 from the field. Here's Reynolds. Power dribble, takes it in. He's fouled by Azuero.
Azuero had his back looking at the stands. He was trying to edge him out with his back, bumping him back. And he's looking over at the bench and like, what do you want me to do? Reynolds is too big, too strong, and he's playing at a pace where he's not rushing himself. A lot of times big guys, because they play angles, they rush themselves and don't get their feet set and they don't find the rim.
4th personal foul on Azuero, and he's going to be subbed out for Christian Coleman for UAB as Reynolds now with 25.
You see, Azuero is making that slow walk to the bench there.
We were waiting to see if he would make the free throw for his new career high, but he stays at it with 25, and he had it against Temple on February 6th. That was his career high, 25. He's tied it here today. Vasquez back to work for UAB.
That's what you can't let him do. Vasquez just went inside and took advantage of Reed and posted him. Vasquez is so big, so strong in there and attacks the rim.
Now he's got 15 points today for the Blazers, part of 3 players in double figures in scoring. McGee's got 20, Lendeborg 17, he's got 15. Reynolds to Reed. A step back shot, tough one that time. Rebound Coleman.
That's not the shot they wanted. They really wanted a better shot than what they got.
Got to stop Lendeborg. That's a tough task.
Yeah. Last 2 plays, what has UAB done? They're going right back to the paint. They attack the basket. They build on the lead.
Over his average now, comes in at 17.8 a game. He's got 19 today and now has another rebound. He's got 12 rebounds. He averages 10.5 a contest.
I would not take a jump shot. I would work our offense and get some dribble penetration, attack the basket.
Tony finding the cutter of Vasquez, backs it out. Working on Reynolds. No, Reynolds the rebound.
But that was the shot. That was the right shot.
25 and 11 now for Reynolds. Reed. Three ball. Good for Jennings.
Jennings is a veteran player. Really good catch shoot guy.
What about stamina coming down the stretch here a little bit too? I was watching kind of Reynolds on the offensive end a little bit. I was thinking, boy, they could use the timeout coming up here, right? As Vasquez misses on the opportunity on the follow, Jennings has it. Yeah, I mean, he's all the way back on the other end of the court. And the ball is out of bounds off of UAB. There was more that was out when he touched it last.
Whenever UAB gets in trouble, the answer to most of their problems is number 3, and Lindenborg just finishes right there at the rim. But South Florida comes right back, and Jennings knocks down a 3. We got a ball game, partner.
Here's your standings in the American. Memphis with a loss today. They're 11-2. North Texas, and there's UAB. If they win this, they go to 9-3 to tie North Texas and become a game and a half out of first place to Memphis. UAB and North Texas split the season series. They beat North Texas just a couple games ago, 64-61 here at home, and lost to them by 3 on the road on December 31st.
I tell you what, this league is getting tight. That's what you want. As you get into February, going into the tournament, everybody's walking in there with an idea that they can win it. Temple did a great job last year showing the ability to do that.
Runner doesn't go for Knox. Temple did a great job this year, by the way, too, doing all this without Jamal Mashburn Jr., one of the top scorers in the nation. They lost by only 2 today. Look at some of their losses in the conference. They're all by single digits.
The coach has just done an unbelievable job at Temple.
Yeah, Coach Fisher has been outstanding there in his second season, and the run that they had to go to the title game last year, and I wouldn't put it past them to try to make a run. Let's see if Mashburn can get back into the mix for them. They're battling without him as well. Here's Reed on the runner, doesn't go. Lendeborg running the break. Tony wide open for 3. That could hurt. No, but an offensive rebound. McGee pushes it inside, and it was Johnson that time that was unable to convert. Reed and a McCoya for 3. That's way off, but it goes right into the hands of Knox.
I tell you, right now South Florida is playing without a big, and so physically it's very difficult for them to match up and to keep the ball out of the paint. I think they've got to back off of their pressure some. I think UAB is going to really try to drive them and get the ball to the rim just because of the lack of size.
7 to shoot. Lendeborg up to McGee. Mid-range, not there. And a fight for it. It's going to be loose. It was saved from going out by USF. And then now Lendeborg leans in and draws the foul on Adam McCoya.
Yeah, the guards cannot leak out for South Florida. They need everybody in the paint. They need everybody to gang rebound. They got the shot that they wanted, and the guards were running, trying to be in transition, and UAB was able to come up with the basketball and get the ball in the Lindenborg. You see right there, there's nobody there because everybody's taking off down the floor.
Right.
And you gotta, when you're smallest, you gotta gang rebound till you get possession of the basketball.
Third foul on Adam McCoya, and at the free throw line, Lendeborg, who now has 20 points. Ties McGee for the team high today. And this is his 12th 20-point game of the season, 19th of his career. This is for the Defensive Player of the Year last year, first team all-conference selection. Averaged 10.5 rebounds last year as well. He's upped his points by about 4 per game, Coach, and of course leading them in blocks and steals and field goal percentage, is just doing everything.
Well, he is, and plus he's a class kid. He really is. I mean, he plays hard.
Oh, inside Reynolds. He now has a new career high.
Guess who just showed up, huh?
27 for him today on 10 of 17 from the field.
This is the most effective that I've seen him play. And he's done that because of two things, I think. I think the other guys, the perimeter guys on the team have looked for him and have tried to give him the ball where he can operate. And he's shown a lot of energy in wanting the ball and working to get it where he needs to catch it.
UAB is 0 for their last 7 from the field in the last 3 minutes plus 2 in the last 12. It's a 4-point game still in a battle here today. 5.5 to go. Lendeborg gives it up. Johnson, the shot clock down to 3. Johnson has to hoist it from deep, and he trades it.
That's what UAB's been waiting for. Butter to get smooth, baby. And he knocked down that 3. That couldn't have come at a better time.
What was the conversation like that you had with him yesterday? You said you talked to him.
I said, are you going to knock down some 3s so we can call your name? And he said, I promise you I will, Coach. You know, this young man has a green light. Andy Kennedy has given him a green light. He's got a really good stroke. It's just a matter of confidence, but that was a big-time shot right there.
Ephraim Butter Johnson, as he's called, and he scores it for the 3 ball. That was big because it puts him up 7. Now it's 6 with a free throw made here by Reed, but crucial as the shot clock was at 2. You played good defense there for USF, almost the entire shot clock, and then give up the tray.
I'm going to tell you, if you're a shooter, there's nobody better you want to play for than Andy Kennedy, because he's always let his shooters shoot the ball with unlimited range.
The foul is on McGee, his first for UAB, by the way, and now a steal. Reed, after the free throws, now takes it in and scores it.
That's the second time he's done that. You know, he's got McGee's number as far as handling the ball. Reed is timing that just right. He's making him spin, reverse, and he's reaching around, and that's the second pick he's had. 16
for Reed. It's a 3-point game. Johnson again. Lendeborg rises up. Too strong. Rebound Reynolds. Hands off to Reed. The last time we were within a single possession, or USF was back at 31-29. Now Reynolds blocked inside. Combination of Coleman and Lendeborg were there.
Lendeborg came over from the weak side and got a hand on it.
Goes coast to coast, and it's too strong. It's tapped by Reynolds. Reed's got it. Feeds it back out to the wing. Stroud for 3 in the tie. It's no good. And Lendeborg has it.
Both of these two teams need the under 4 timeout right now. They both need to catch their breath.
3:35 to go. 15 to shoot. UAB possession with the 3-point lead. Tony for Johnson. Another 3. Can he do it again? No. McGee, offensive rebound. The stick back rolls off. He got it again.
You have to rebound the basketball.
Lendeborg back out. Johnson, another 3. This one's good.
You have to rebound the basketball if you're South Florida, because not getting those 3s off the offensive rebound is one of the best ways to do that, and that's what UAB has stepped up and done.
That's what's hurt USF. UAB with 15 offensive rebounds and 15 second chance points today. They lead by 6. We're under 3 minutes to go. Shovel pass inside. Anamakoya, no. Knocked out of bounds. It's going to stay with USF when we return with 2:42 to go.
You talk about defense, and I've been talking about South Florida's defense, and Reed right here showed the great. He played on that, made a steal, comes in for the layup. He did a great job. But besides playing good defense, you've got a defensive rebound, kick out right there to Butter, and he knocks it down. Smooth, smooth, smooth.
Touches of black.
They stand for elegance, refinement. They make you see everything in a new light.
Get 1.9% APR for up to 60 months on the purchase of select new 2025 Sportage and 2025 Sorrento models.
Huge news. You can get a son of for just $3. Wait, I said son of. Look at the words. Son of Baconator is $3. Thank you. For bacon that just won't quit, gotta be Wendy's.
4 nations facing off.
We're still believing in miracles.
To the red, white, and blue.
The boys in the best
Pickleball Slam 3 is here. Former teammates turn bitter rivals.
I'm coming to take my trophy back.
I'll be facing one of the greats of the game, and also Andy Roddick.
Pickleball Slam 3, live only on ESPN.
The big numbers we just talked about, second chance points for UAB, 15, and then the offensive rebounds, coach, too many right there, 15.
Yeah, they've been UAB's been able to overpower him with the size, especially when Reynolds was out to catch his breath, but that was a necessary breath for him at the point in time.
Now with 2 minutes and 42 seconds to go, South Florida possession underneath their own basket, down 6.
They need to come up with a really good shot.
Jennings was heavily guarded by Johnson. Now he tries to work it in on him and got knocked away by Lendeborg. They get him for the foul? They did. Or did they get it on someone else? Let's see who got the foul.
Jennings was committed on driving and getting the ball to the paint.
It was on Johnson.
You see him right there. He's got his head up, though. He's waiting to see if they're going to collapse on him. But he was determined to get the ball to the paint. Once a guy gets into his move and you have the arm bar, you have to kind of put your arms out and let him move. It's not because he's not posting you.
Oh, front half of the one-on-one, no good. That was the second foul on Johnson, but it didn't hurt him now, and Blazers have it with a 6-point lead.
See, plays like that has been the thing that has hurt South Florida this year. Going to the line, having a chance to make it a 4-point game instead of a 6.
Vasquez, short, Reynolds the rebound, trying to get out of the traffic, and does so to Stroud. Quickly up to Reed, he's going to pop up a 3. It's an air ball.
So you missed the front end of a 1-on-1. You shoot an air ball. Those are the things in close losses that create separation.
I think your point about each team kind of gassed a little bit here, right? It's showing a little bit for USF right now.
Yeah, but it's also late in games. It's shot preparation and selection.
Well, Lendeborg got blocked and it was out of bounds off of UAB.
Well, what they're doing right now, South Florida has done a better job defensively at collapsing in the gaps and giving UAB more perimeter shots than they are drive. They're not coming up with hard ball pressure.
Let's see if they can get a good offensive possession here. Obviously don't need a 3. Plenty of time, minute and a half to go, down 6.
See, that's not where Reynolds needs to be.
He's going to try to work it in on Lendeborg, and the reverse layup doesn't go. Fight for it. Reed somehow is able to get it. He couldn't convert, though. And now on the run and a run out, it's Vasquez. And a smart job to bring it back out, but finds a cutting Coleman. Tips his on this up and in.
The physicality of UAB on the offensive glass in the last 2-3 minutes has really made a big difference in this ball game. They keep putting Reynolds out high, and I know he can roll, but you got to start him in the low post, find him and give him the ball.
Ball knocked out of the hands. It's going to stay with USF for the moment as the officials go to the monitor to review that, which you can do under 2 minutes to go. And we'll see if it's going to stay Bulls possession.
But Mike, let's see.
Like he just lost Stroud, yeah, he just
lost
threw it out. Yeah,
just lost it. But you know, you talk about the difference, and I'm putting on my coach cap now. I can't help it. You know, you go to the foul line, you have 1-and-1, you've missed the first, so that's 2 points off the board. Then you have a transition, you got a wide open jump shot, and you shoot an air ball off a 3 where you could have either driven it, got a better shot, or taking your time. Okay, that's 5 points by the board, you know, that is I call it a self-inflicted wounds.
Well, it's almost like you're chasing, right? Because after you miss the free throw, then you feel like, oh, I got to come down and make up for it here, and then you put up a bad three, like you said. So that's kind of, it starts back at.
But it's little things that you have control over that UAB has really nothing to do with. They had nothing to do with missing a foul shot. They had nothing to do with missing an air ball on a wide open three.
Right.
So, you know, you just have to, that's the poise that's taking your time. And that's the thing that has snake bit this South Florida team this year, as opposed to it didn't happen with them last year with some of the same guys.
And the ball is going to go over to UAB as we suspected, as it was off of Stroud out of bounds.
And UAB has nothing but good ball handlers on the floor, good decision makers.
.9 seconds to go.
This will be a huge win for UAB. And especially, like we haven't talked, winning at home this in February is really big.
Trying to foul Lendeborg, it seems like. But now instead he throws it away, and it's Reed who gets it out to Jennings in the corner. A three by Stroud is good. It bounces in. Brandon Stroud. So the defensive pressure on Lendeborg forces him to throw it away. And then the Bulls get a three, and they call a timeout with 43 seconds to go. They are down by 5 points. We will step aside. We are back in 30 seconds.
When others are giving you one-topping pizzas for $9.99, Domino's is gonna give you all the toppings for $9.99. That's right, get any crust with any toppings for $9.99 each online. This might just be our best deal yet, so get it before it's gone at Domino's.
Chat, how are we feeling about the pancakes?
Pretty mid.
You know what's mid, Bree? Your aura.
You've got to get off the internet, Dad.
Okay, boomer.
You're the boomer.
That's a flex, and that's a flex, and I don't like it.
Can you make him stop?
I'm gonna keep it 100 with you. That's sus.
Stop saying sus.
Bussin'.
In the time it takes you to master the slang, you could have bought a Hyundai on Amazon.
Bruh, let me cook.
Welcome to our world of extraordinary hydration science.
Meet Liquid IV, sugar-free hydration, scientifically formulated with electrolytes, vitamins, and 0 artificial sweeteners. Liquid IV, sugar-free.
In late game situations, you can't play the foul. You got to be strong with the basketball. You can't take a chance like that. You got to make the next pass.
Almost another steal here. Now there's going to be a foul. And Ben Fletcher over there on the sideline for USF says, all right, that's what we're looking for here. And it's tough that they're in this position right now after a couple of empty offensive possessions until this one, as they got Stroud on the good bounce on the three-pointer. And now the foul with 38.6 seconds to go. Still a 1-and-1 here. That's the 9th team foul by USF.
You know, when you're trying to come back, you use the clock offensively. You foul right away, and so you have more time on the clock offensively to get a good shot.
Missed it. Reynolds the rebound.
Push it. They got to push it.
And they got to go fast. Here's Jennings. Going to try to get a quick two, and he does. One more timeout remaining for South Florida, and they use it here with 31 seconds to go. All right, Coach, 3-point game now, and UAB is going to inbound the ball. Then the Bulls got a chance to set up the press.
Yeah, set up a press. And I think, again, you know who you want to foul. The minute that guy touches the ball, you foul him. Again, you want to use the time. You got 31 seconds. You want to use that time to wind up getting a good offensive shot as opposed to playing your defense. Because most good teams are not going to turn it over. They're going to keep it in one guy's hand. So you foul right away so you have more time offensively to get a good look and to get a good shot, because you have to score.
It is a 3-point lead for UAB. They've got the ball. They have 2 timeouts remaining. South Florida is out of timeouts. Possession arrow favors the Bulls. If we get a jump, I always say this during every broadcast, you know, you want to go in there and foul, try to tie them up, try to get that ball, because jump ball goes your way. That's if you're USF.
And the other part with that is sometimes when you do that, they panic and try to get rid of it, and then you get an easy turnover. Yep. So that, to your point.
Single possession games this season. USF 2 wins, 2 losses. UAB 2 wins, 3 losses. What does this mean, this game, for the standings? UAB trying to get in a tie with North Texas. They would be at 9-3. They win today.
It's huge for UAB. This is a really important game because just to your psyche, you know, you're a preseason pick to win the league for whatever that means.
Right.
But, you know, it puts you in shouting get distance in a game out. It just mentally gives you more fire, and you're at home and you played well. I mean, so being able to finish it off is important.
And listen, being a game and a half out of first place to Memphis.
Okay.
Clock stopped before the ball went through the basket, says Don Daly, so they had to take a little bit of time down. So 30.3 seconds. So instead of 31 exactly, it's 30.3.
This has been a great officiated game in a crew, I tell you. And this was not an easy game to officiate with the physicality.
Yeah, Don Daly, Vladimir Voyar-Tadal, and Keith Kimball doing good work here today. Foul is called, and it's going to be on Kaysen Jennings for USF. The second. Reminder coming up tomorrow. It's Big Monday. We got a triple header. It's going to lead off with women's basketball, our game of the night. Number 2 Notre Dame and number 13 Duke. Coverage begins at 6 o'clock Eastern. And then we got the men's side with Duke and Cooper Flagg and Virginia at 8 Eastern, Arizona and Baylor after that. So triple header Big Monday, beginning with women's hoops, Duke and Notre Dame tomorrow at 6 o'clock Eastern on ESPN.
And if you're UAB, this is the guy you like to see at the line.
Butter Johnson, 85% of the season. Today, 2 or 3.
An hour and a half before the game started, he was out here shooting jump shots with one of the coaches and working on his form and everything. At practice the other day, he stayed late working on his form.
Well, if UAB hangs on and wins this, they're going to be thanking him because he's got 8 points today, but he had 2 huge 3-pointers. 9 points, 3 of them at the free throw line, but then those 2 big threes over the last 5 or 6 minutes has really been the difference right now. It's a 5-point game, driving in, knocks, fouled, and that would have been huge had he would have been able to throw it down, but now he's got 2 free throws to cut it to 3 with 23 seconds left.
Yeah, I would not have challenged that. I would have kind of rather that he just kind of let that go and give that up and get it in bounds. But again, this is why you use your time offensively that's left, so it gives you more scoring opportunities. These foul shots are important.
Knox with 1 more, perfect 3 for 3 today at the line.
You know, coaches debate on whether or not if you're in pressure. I think late in the game like this, you're in man pressure. In zone, they can flash to an open area and get a receiver. You don't want them to be able to receive it, maybe get a quick 5.
We're at a 3-point game now. Reynolds out. Offensive, defensive substitution.
You switch everything, switch everything, switch everything.
They get it into Moore. Wow. Lendeborg. Johnson wide open. Tony. Timeout UAB with 16.2, and that may have done it. We will see.
UAB, nobody held on to the ball. They got it, kicked it, got an easy dunk out of it. But that's why you have to foul. I mean, the chances of them turning it over are not great. They really didn't even have to take a shot. You have to foul right away, and that's why it started when they missed the switch and allowed the ball to come in easily in the corner.
Now we talked about Johnson, who's got 9 points here, and the 2 big 3-pointers in this second half, and what he did to help UAB out to this advantage right now. How about these timely threes that he drained?
And you talk about being ready. I mean, you talk about being a team guy. You know, watch him right there knock down a 3. I mean, he came out early, practiced, waiting for his shot, knocked down important foul shots. Been a major contributor in this ball game.
Here's Reed. Picks it up, gets it over here now for Jennings. Blocked by Lendeborg. And Johnson, and there's the exclamation point. Jennings blocked again. Lendeborg with 3.1.
You don't think there's a difference in winning and losing, and these kids don't enjoy winning a lot better. You know, Lendeborg, he doesn't give up any free looks. I mean, he's not Mutombo, but he's always got that finger ready if he needs to make that block now. That's why he's Defensive Player of the Year in this league.
They're going to count the basket, but it doesn't matter. 6